show now. Welcome back to Two Marks and a Spark. I don't know what the fuck I just watched. I We'll get there.
Hey,
Hi
how you
Russ, how are
doing, man?
you?
Yeah, boy, what a long show, huh?
We'll get there.
Yep.
Do we want to talk about WWE first? I think we should,
Sure.
because we're going to be able to
Lots of
blow through
wrestling
that.
to talk about this weekend.
We're going to be able to blow through this WWE show.
5 matches.
Yeah.
They know how to do 5 good matches and have the show clock in at less than 3 hours. That's it sounds like they got someone competent like Triple H, running the show there.
Well, this show started rather lacklusterly with Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair against Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae.
Right, that was a pre-show match. That one was all right. They retained just to kind of get the crowd warmed up.
It wasn't a I didn't watch the whole match. I saw like the end of it,
Mhm.
and it was
That was
fine.
okay. It was okay.
The show
Uh,
actually
I know
started
Indy
with
Hartwell and Candice LeRae are supposed to be heels now, but they're really not mean and vicious enough to be taken seriously as heels yet.
yeah.
Maybe
Well,
they'll get
anyway, Jade and Bianca retained. Big surprise. Uh,
right.
Becky Lynch defending her women's world title against Liv Morgan. This went pretty much the exact way you'd think it would for the way things have been going.
Correct.
Um, it seems like Becky's probably headed for some time off. So you
Yes.
you knew her winning the title was
And
temporary.
the internet marks are just running all kinds of rumors, rampant rumors about how she's going to go to AEW. And why in
No.
the hell would she go to AEW? She's got absolutely nothing.
Dude, if she was thinking about it, she watched that show tonight and probably said, fuck. No, absolutely not. We'll get there. Anyway, so Liv Morgan ends up winning the women's world title, as we all thought she would, and she does it with
I
some
predicted that she would. And
inner,
they threw a little curveball in there with Dominic.
which she was actually trying to help Becky, but he ended up helping Liv with the chair at the end. And
Right. That's not going the
Liv,
way I expected it to. I thought they were going to make some kind of a secret item between Liv Morgan and Dominic,
I
you know?
still think they are. I still think they are eventually, but I think they're slow burning it
Yeah,
because I wonder if they don't have more time than they thought they would with this Rhea thing.
that could be. That could be.
Also, if they don't have to rush Rhea back, they really don't. I mean, they've got
No, no, they
Raw
don't.
specifically has so much female talent that they're loaded.
Yes, they
Liv
do.
win, Liv wins, and if you look at that
New
Raw
title.
women's division of
Not
who's healthy, in that Raw women's division, she makes the most sense to have the title
Yeah, I
of
get you.
who's healthy. And everybody's like, "Oh, why didn't she just win that battle royal?" Because her beating Becky means more than her winning a battle royal.
Right.
Uh, so if they're trying to legitimize Liv here, they did it pretty well, and she wins despite interference. She kind of looks like she's still the heel, but she kind of looks like the babyface here, and Becky, rightfully so, kind of feels screwed.
And it sounds like we may be possibly be getting a rematch on Monday Night Raw.
I wouldn't doubt it. I would imagine that this feud is going to go for as long as Becky's willing to stick around for
Yes, I agree.
before she goes and takes time off. Then we had the triple threat: Gable, Bronson Reed, and Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental title. This did not go the way I thought it would. Sami Zayn ends up retaining the title.
Right. I expected Chad Gable to win. It made sense the way they did it for Sami
Now
Zayn.
maybe they're waiting
Could
for a
be.
bigger show
Well,
to be in
it
Saudi.
also occurred to me that they showed some footage like they did last year of Sami Zayn, who's Muslim, making pilgrimage. And I
Right.
thought, well, that would, if the Muslim wins, the Saudi Arabia crowd would probably like that. That would get over them because 99% of them are probably Muslim.
Right. So Sammy ends up retaining the title
Right?
in a
And
very good triple threat
I
match.
thought it was a pretty good match. They did not end it the way I thought they would. but yet there is some storyline obviously going forward. We're going to be seeing more between Otis and Chad.
Right.
They'll probably feud,
And Chad will win, as you
most
said.
likely. Most
And then we
likely,
get
we don't get to hear Otis on the mic very often, do we?
he's very good on the mic.
Yes, he is.
His problem isn't that he can't talk, it's that he doesn't. So
Right.
anyway,
Well, if maybe if they got a feud going, maybe he'll get a chance to talk a little more.
then we get the biggest nothing burger of the night, well, day, night, whatever you want to call it. Nia Jax versus Lyra Valkyrie. I like
Right.
Valkyria. I thought for sure once Nia won on Friday that they were going for Lyra.
I would have bet money that Lyra
But
Valkyrie was
Nia made
set up to win.
sense. Nia made sense once they said whoever wins gets a title shot because they didn't want to beat Lyra in a title match.
Right.
And
Yeah.
no, the way she lost Saturday did not help her, I don't think, because she got squashed by Nia.
Right.
And I heard
Naya, I think she has improved. I think she's gotten better. She's grown on
it,
me some.
it was a nothing burger match though.
Yeah, that's it. They didn't really. Neither one of them
Do
did a
anything.
whole lot.
Right. And time might have been a constraint. Who knows? I don't think so because this was the shortest of the Saudi shows they've done. So,
Yes, it was. It clocked in at a little less, about a little less than 3 hours.
right, not counting the pre-show.
Correct. Not counting that.
And then they moved very quickly.
Yes, they did.
And,
They moved right
and I
along.
mean incredibly fast from the Nia thing. They went straight into Gunther versus Randy Orton.
Yes, they did. And this, I think, was my favorite. This would be my pick for the best match of the night.
Yeah, this is the match of the night, and it was without question the match of the night, and it
And
made all the
Randy,
sense in
even
the
though
world.
Orton lost, it didn't hurt him. It was a strong match, and they both looked really, really good. And you got two of the best workers in the business there. I knew that this match was going to be a gem, just
This
because
match could not have been bad. It
yeah.
couldn't have. There was no way. And Randy, it in his older years, in his later years of his career, has become such a consummate professional when it comes to putting the younger guys over. And he didn't seem to have a problem at all
Mhm.
with going out there and going out flat on his back. And he did.
Yep.
Well, he ended up getting rolled up on a botched crucifix, but
Right.
well, there's
Well,
more WWE
that
news.
botch, I don't think there's any intended storyline off of that because when there is, they usually react to it right away.
Right. It was a botch.
I think it was just a real botch, not a planned one. So the
And
best thing
then,
to do would be to just ignore it.
yeah, AEW had one of those tonight that they just ignored. I'll talk about that in a minute.
Hmm.
And then we had Cody Rhodes defending the WWE Championship against the United States champion Logan Paul.
Right.
This match didn't disappoint, but
Not
it
a bit.
also came right after Randy Orton and Gunther, who went out there and absolutely
Right.
killed each other. So,
Yeah. I think it would have made more sense to have the King of the Ring be the main event since it is the King of the Ring show. But
well, I understand why they didn't because you
yeah,
have Logan Paul, who is a box office draw, whether you like him or not. I don't like him, and he's a
I
box office draw.
but boy, they had a really good match. I
And
think it's one of the best matches Logan Paul's had, and I guess
and
he's
Big,
had that U.S. title for about a year now.
he won it in October.
Okay, I'm great. I thought he had it longer than that.
I think he won it at the last Saudi show. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so it's been
Um,
less than a year then.
yeah, but Cody ends up retaining the title, no surprise. But him and Logan had a very good match,
Yes, he did.
and this is not a knock. This was one of Logan's slower paced matches
Mhm.
that we haven't really seen him have a lot of. Most of his matches are boom, 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 spot, 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 spot. This was a little bit more. This had a world title match pace to it.
Right, it did. And I think Cody kind of helped him do that. Cody being the veteran, uh, it really, I think it was one of Logan Paul's best matches, and that's part of the reason why. just to slow
Right.
down and give it a chance to breathe a little bit. And they gave these matches time for the most part. I mean, the Nia Jax Lyra Valkyria match was a bit of a squash, but other than that, these matches they were just about the right length. And it was a good length of a show. It's interesting how about a year and a half ago we were saying how AEW was doing pay-per-views better than WWE's. Now it's just the opposite. It's really switched.
Really, that didn't change until
Well, until Vince was McMahon was gone, was part of the reason why that happened.
Vince was fully gone, like out of the
Right.
company.
Gone, gone. He was gone and then kind of gone, and then he's gone, gone.
Some other WWE news, and I do want to touch on this.
Yes.
They did some weird shit this week. WWE did because they've been announcing a whole bunch of stuff, and they're gonna keep doing this, but and it's gonna keep getting weirder. Some weird news came out this week. So, and I want to give full context here. So Monday, I got a text message that said something to the equivalent of 2026 related WWE stuff coming out this week. And I
Yes.
said, "What?
Yep. 2 years from now.
2026?
Right.
That doesn't and that didn't make any sense." And I was like, "What the fuck?" And then I legitimately responded with, "What the fuck?
Hmm.
Like why?" And they're like, "You'll see."
Yeah.
And then 3 days later, I checked Twitter and Triple H is on there talking about SummerSlam's going to go to 2 nights.
And it's going
They're
to
going to
be
do it.
in.
That's going to be in Minneapolis. So
Yeah. There you go.
that,
We were kind of hoping for a WrestleMania in Minneapolis, but if I'm still alive in 2 years,
and
I'm
we're
going to
getting
go
two
to
nights,
SummerSlam.
and we're getting 2 nights. I don't know if that's going to be a one time only thing.
Right.
Because did you watch the video on social
No, I
media?
did not. I heard about it, but I didn't actually watch it. No.
So the way it was phrased, like they didn't say that it was permanently going to be 2 nights because they said for the first time ever it's 2 nights.
Right.
They didn't say it was permanently going to be 2 nights, but they also didn't say it wasn't permanently going to be 2 nights.
Well, but they did that with WrestleMania.
Yes, but here's the thing. Part of me thinks this might be a one time deal because why else would you announce it 2 years out?
Yeah.
You're announcing this 2 years out for
Yeah. Gives us a
really,
chance. Gives us a chance to save up our money so that maybe we can get one of those package deals where you can get both nights and the
yeah.
the
And
other
we're going to go to the show and we'll do a whole bunch of stuff about it. But like, I don't have a problem with them announcing it 2 years ahead of time. I don't. I know some
right.
people did. I know some people thought it was a stupid move for them to
No, I was glad to
announce it
hear
two
it.
years out.
I'm glad they're thinking that far ahead.
And it's smart and it's a good business move, right? Like if you look at this from a pure business perspective, it's a great move.
And people come and go so fast in wrestling. People get hurt, and 2 years from now, it's impossible to predict what the landscape of WWE is actually going to look like.
Right. You can kind of figure that Triple H is still going to be there.
I hope so. Yeah, I think he's doing a pretty good job so far.
But like, here's my thing with this. Okay. SummerSlam being 2 nights, people are complaining about it. People don't like it. One, it's 2 years out, which is where you kind of give them some leeway. You
Yeah,
say, okay, 2 years from now, this might make more sense. Right now, if they made SummerSlam 2 nights this year, you would say that doesn't make any fucking sense at all. But we don't know what SummerSlam is going to be in 2 years.
no idea. Yeah,
Like, like you just said, wrestling moves so fast. A lot can change in 2 years if WWE continues on this trajectory that they're on, where they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger all the time, and they're doing more and more and more. You could make the argument that 2 nights for SummerSlam by then will make total sense.
Right.
And it feels like, and it felt like a WrestleMania announcement with the way the video package was framed.
Yes.
And I just think that the plan was, I think what happened, I think this is legitimately what happened. Minneapolis and Las Vegas got into a bidding war for WrestleMania next year.
Hmm.
Las Vegas won. But WWE has wanted to run US Bank Stadium for a long time. And they needed a big show to do it. Because I don't know if you know this about US Bank Stadium, that is not a small building.
Right.
Between the floor seats and the stadium seats there, I would estimate there's going to be 90,000 people, probably close to it, maybe 85.
Yeah.
They're going to get a lot of people in that building. That is a
Hopefully
big
we'll be there too.
that is a big building. I have been in that building for concerts and they can cram a lot of people in there. And they're going to be able to cram even more in there for a WWE show,
Hmm.
especially if they go with the reduced sets and stuff like that.
Right.
But the question is, and I saw this floated around on Minnesota related stuff, Twitter. Why aren't they doing this at Target Field? And the simple answer to that is the Twins are going to be playing,
Sure.
and they
That's
they
very
don't know
simple.
the Twins' schedule in 2 years.
Who knows?
So
Exactly.
that's part of it. And another thing is Target Field is a significantly smaller building,
Oh yeah.
significantly smaller. It's not a football stadium; it's a baseball
Yeah.
stadium. It's
That this
40,000 people.
potentially could be one of the biggest summer slams ever.
It will be built as such. It will be built as the biggest ever because it's going to be 2 nights and it's going to be just everything. I think the Royal Rumble is the going to go to 2 nights next year. I still think they go to 2 nights next year for the Royal Rumble
I hadn't even thought about that.
because then you can do the women's Royal Rumble night one and the men's Royal Rumble night two, or however you want to do it,
Right.
and you can have them both close the show. I I'm very interested to see what WWE does with these 2 night shows. I don't mind it when they do 2 nights. I like it because it gives them a chance to spread things out. It gives them a chance to do more with one show. And New Japan's been doing 2 night shows forever.
Yes. And
So
and this last year, the 2 nights of WrestleMania, you know, they were about 3 hour shows, So they weren't like 4 or 5 hour shows. Like there for a while, we were getting like 5 hours of WrestleMania all on one night, and it's just too much for the live audience, and it's too much for the television audience too, because I got to get up and stretch my legs and go out and get some fresh air, do something. I can't just sit for 5 hours and watch wrestling.
yeah, it's too much. And we'll talk about that problem that AEW had tonight. Um,
Yeah, trying to do too much. What else is going on in WD? Do you have any idea? I have not been paying any attention because I don't care. But I hear about all these secret codes about
the Wyatt Six. I
Uncle
thought they were going to
Howdy
debut
and
yesterday.
all. I don't know. I don't even know how to access that stuff. But some people are really going apeshit or they're trying to figure out some kind of puzzle about the Wyatt family coming back or something.
The Wyatt Six.
The Wyatt Six.
Yeah. I think I think the interesting thing with them is going to be how are they booked? Because
Yeah.
Joe Gacy is going to be a part of that.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I've heard Eric Rowan is probably also going to be a part of it. So
That would
how
be
are they
great.
booked is going to be
I
I
remember Braun Strowman was a little part of that group, the original, briefly.
yeah, and I wonder if he won't be a part of it again.
I thought about that too, 'cause now that he's back.
Right. Well, Russ, I guess we have to talk about Double or Nothing. Uh
Yeah,
this show couldn't have started any better than it did. I mean, really, the first 40
right.
minutes of this show were spectacular.
They had a couple of pre-show matches. Did you see any of that?
Russ, I won't lie to you.
Yeah, skip it.
I I didn't see the pre-show. I was doing stuff right up until
Right.
6:55. So,
Thunder Rosa lost to Deanna Prazo, and the Acclaimed beat well, it's no longer the Gates of Agony, it's the Cage of Agony because of Brian Cage being with him. And they were both, they were just so getting the crowd warmed up. Nothing to get too excited about. But the first match of the show, of the official show, that was a damn good match. That was really good. I expected Will Ospreay to do well. I've never seen him have a bad match yet.
and he has a tremendous match here with Roderick Strong. He wins the
International
international
title
title.
match.
He wins the international title. The
And he,
weird thing about this was he wins, right? And there's
yes,
no big thing about it. He just disappears.
right,
And then
exactly,
Adam Cole's music hits. And I'm
right.
thinking, what the fuck?
I was surprised, yeah.
So anyway,
And we saw everybody try to interfere there, all of the usual suspects. We had Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, Wardlow, all tried to interfere to no avail. Roderick Strong had a hell of a good performance, really good. This may have been the best match of the night, but like you say, here comes Adam Cole. What's this about? I
so
did
here
not
he
see this coming. I heard rumors about this, but I figured there's no way it's going to happen.
so here he comes, Adam Cole, and he says it's time for story time with Adam Cole, baby.
Yep,
And he starts talking, and the crowd is chanting MJF the whole time.
exactly.
And Adam Cole starts bitching about how he shouldn't even be there. And then the lights go out and a video package plays, and you know immediately,
Right.
oh fuck.
Yep. This was a good surprise. It was good to see him.
And here comes MJF. He's dressed like Triple H, and he absolutely just destroyed Adam's Cole's.
Mm-hmm.
And he he grabs a mic, cuts a promo, cuts an awesome promo.
Really, they're always good, but it was good to hear him again.
And he says he's the wolf of wrestling because he ain't fucking leaving. And he drops the mic and he leaves.
That's right.
And
I
he's
love
got a
that line he
tattoo.
said, I don't need no New Japan and I don't need no Vince McMahon. I
He's
made
got a
myself.
he's got a tattoo now that says "Bet on yourself" with the AEW logo on it. So if he was ever thinking about going to WWE, oh
Yeah.
baby, is that in trouble?
Yeah, it was a surprise to see him, but it was good. And the crowd just ate it up. I'm surprised they had it that early in the show too, because we had
Uh,
a superb match, and then we had the big pop with the surprise return. And like everybody else that has to follow this now has got a certain bar they got to reach. And I don't know about you, but I don't think they all got there. After this, the show started to drag. You know what I mean?
After this, the show went into a gutter and never really climbed out. Um, we had the Bang 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 versus the Death Triangles for the Unified Trios titles.
Yes.
The Bang Bang Gang win with ya man coming back, Juice Robinson,
Jeff Robinson is good to see him back again.
with the fakest spray tan you've ever seen in your life. Oh my God.
I know, I know.
Well,
But
anyway, the Bang Bang Gang do retain with interference from Juice, and that's it.
correct.
And then we had a very good women's title match, Serena Deeb against Tony Storm. This was actually a very good match.
It was what,
I
yes,
felt I felt really bad for them though, because they were on this show, and this show got worse and worse as it went along.
this was the other real highlight of the night. I thought was the women or the women's title match. Really, really good. Both of them just put on a hell of a performance.
And then
It ended with the
with a just with the storms back to back
right,
storm zeros for the win
right,
for Tony, and Tony retains, but we did get a tease of Mariah potentially turning
a little bit, yeah.
uh during this. And then we had the most blase fair match of the night, which was Orange Cassidy versus Trent Beretta.
Oh man, this seemed to go on forever.
This
I
was
was,
fine for about 10 minutes.
yeah, yeah, but it just, I'm sorry, man. Orange Cassidy still isn't over with me. I can't get past that gimmick.
He ends up getting the win here. Anyway, we're gonna move on to something that pissed me off. The first
Oh,
of many things on this show,
this next, the FTR title match.
the FTW title match. Jericho, Shibata, and Hook
FTW, excuse me. I said FTR.
in a three-way title match that one, they
Hook and
ruined Brian
Jericho,
Keith. They ruined Brian Keith because they turned him heel.
right?
Two,
I've never seen him use a bag of dice before. Jericho dumped on a bag of dice.
okay. So they're having this match, right? And the mic picked this up clearly. I don't know if you heard this. Aubrey went over to Shibata at one point and said 7 minutes, Shibata, giving him a time cue. And the mic picked it up clear as fucking day. You could hear it.
Oh,
And I said, oh shit.
that's oh man.
I couldn't believe it. I sat there for a minute and I just went,
Uh-huh. I missed that. I did not catch that.
no, she very clearly said 7 minutes, Shibata. And that happened.
Hmm.
Anyway, Jericho retains. This match
Right.
sucked. Fuck this match. I'm
Brian
moving
Keith
on.
got involved. Big Bill got involved. Looks like Brian Keith, is he going to be with the learning tree now?
Yep.
Okay. That's too bad. I would rather see him doing his own thing, but if he's going to get a push, that's good. I hope we get to see more of him. He's a very good wrestler.
Then we had Takeshita versus Moxley. This was actually a very good match
Yes, it was.
on a horrible part of the show.
IWGP Eliminator match.
And
So
Moxley
that means that
wins.
sometime in the future, well, if the winner gets a title shot, but it doesn't matter now because Moxley retains.
Because Moxley wins. And
This was the part of the night when Don Callis's guy didn't win.
right.
Right.
And this was a very good match.
It was right in the middle, kind of right in the middle of the show.
What we thought was towards the end of the show and ended up being in the middle.
Right.
Then we had Malachi Black versus Adam Copeland in a barbed wire steel cage.
Right. And this was all kinds of deathmatch bullshit. Although there was a nice ending to it, there was a big surprise and a big pop.
With a great finish. Deathmatch bullshit with the greatest finish you've ever seen.
That's right.
Gangrel comes crawling out of the bottom of the ring.
That's right. Gangrel. Haven't seen him in a long, long time.
Yeah, dude, I couldn't believe it. And I texted you, holy pop, Gangrel.
That's right. Well, I wonder that, when they did the bloodbath thing the other night on Dynamite, the red lights and the music, it was a little reminiscent of the Brood for people that can
And it
remember
said the
way back.
Brood on the screen, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Couldn't have been more
So,
obvious.
so yeah. But what amazed me though is I timed it, and from the time that they went off the air when Malachi's crawling out of the ring, with that shit splattered all over him to where the next ring, the next, it was about 7 minutes. So that ring crew got up there and cleaned up all of that shit
Patch the hole in the ring.
in 7 minutes. I mean,
It's pretty.
that's amazing.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Anyway, it was good to see Gangrel. And
Nigel did have one great line on this show. He called the scene of this match, this steel cage match, quote, unholy afterbirth.
oh yeah,
Dude, Nigel McGuinness is fucking
that,
great.
that was pretty
There's
good.
blood everywhere. Then we
Yes.
had a really great, actually, TBS title match between Mercedes Moné and Willow Nightingale.
Better, yep, it's better than I thought it would be.
This was very good.
I expected Mercedes Moné to win that title. She did. I didn't want her to, but she did. I'm just not into her. What surprised me is what happened afterward. I didn't see that coming.
Stokely is yelling at Willow after losing to Mercedes. And then Statlander uh, shoves him down. And it looks like they're going to leave. And then Chris Statlander immediately turns heel in the most predictable fashion possible, absolutely ruining Willow Nightingale.
Hmm.
And that might be the last we ever see of Willow Nightingale, for all I know. With the way this show's booked, that might be the last we ever see of her.
Well, I hope not, because she's damn good. And hey, if they want to have a feud between her and Chris Statlander, if Chris Statlander is healthy enough to wrestle again, that's good.
Be some great
The thing
matches
is,
there.
though, I want to see Chris Statlander wrestle Bailey. That's the problem. We're not going to get to see that.
You want to see Chris Statlander Russell Bailey? That would
Yeah,
be awesome. That's a
that
dream
would that
match,
would
dude.
be great. Yeah.
Uh, that's a great like AEW versus WWE dream match that I had not heard before. That's a new one. I like that one.
Hmm.
I actually really like that. That's a good idea. Uh, Swerve versus Christian for the AEW World Title. This was a very good first defense for Swerve. Too
Yeah.
bad the storyline made no fucking sense.
Yeah.
Um,
Are you
Swerve,
familiar with the film The Warriors?
no, I they kept referencing this on commentary, and I was like, what the fuck?
Or the Stokely, he had the glass bottles on his finger. There's a scene in The Warriors. It's a cult classic. I highly recommend it. Warriors come out to play. Yeah, it was a direct steal from that. And I thought,
Nana did that.
if people haven't seen The Warriors, they're not going to know what he's talking about. They're going to think, what the fuck is Prince Nana doing?
Well, I'll put that on my movies to watch list.
Yeah, highly recommend it.
Anyway,
This had everybody, they had the whole conglomerated mess too with Kill Switch and the Waynes
I
and
actually thought this was like Christian's best match in a while.
yeah,
And
yes.
Swerve is always great, and he was great tonight, and he retains the title. And it was at that point where I tricked myself in my brain to thinking the show was over.
No, but it wasn't. And that was still like at 10 o'clock in the evening, we still
No,
had 3 matches to go.
yeah,
That's what I noticed.
and then by the time the Bucks music hit, it was 11 Central. And I'm looking at the clock thinking, dude, we have to do a show tonight.
Oh, I know. Right.
And now, most people will say, oh, you could have done the show tomorrow.
I'd rather get her done now and then I could sleep.
Well, first of all, me and Russ are night owls.
Yeah,
So we like doing these midnight shows anyway.
yeah, I do too. Yeah, I do. This last
Second of
match, though, should not have been the main event. I don't. I think that this. I don't buy this triple main event idea. I never have. The last match is the main event, no matter what anybody says. It should have been Swerve, versus Christian Cage, but this was the biggest clusterfuck since the football fuckery they had a few years ago, you know. Uh, I did like the flamethrower because, like I said, I told you lately I've been really fascinated with flamethrowers, actually doing online research to see how much they cost, and they're legal almost everywhere, you know. And I thought, man, if somebody like me got a hold of a flamethrower and started having fun with it, then they'd probably have to start passing laws against it. But we got a flamethrower in this match and everything else under the sun you could think of. What did you think of this mess? This was a mess.
Okay, I'm gonna read our text chain from this match.
Yeah.
Me and Russ, during shows where we think they're going on exponentially long, will often start texting each other in lieu of taking notes because at some point we both get bored.
Oh yeah.
Okay, okay. Uh, I said, this is when they were coming out. I said, dude, it's 11 o'clock. The main event isn't even in the ring yet. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you said, I know, right?
Mhm.
A few minutes later, I said, what the hell? This is an absolute mess. And then you responded with, how the fuck do you win a match like this?
Yeah. Because they
I
were
responded
everywhere
with,
except in the ring.
I responded with, I think whoever doesn't get fatally injured wins. And you said, last man breathing.
Last man breathing match. Yeah.
At one point, I said, Okada looks confused as all hell, and frankly, so am I.
Right. Sometimes he's got a look on his face like, what the hell did I sign up for here?
He's had that look so many times in the last month, it's funny.
Right.
And he really had it tonight.
I hope he's getting a hell of a good paycheck.
Man, I hope those checks clear because holy fuck.
They were fighting in all over the arena and in the crowd, and
Okay, okay, okay. I'm gonna I'm gonna break this down for everybody because I think we need to hit some spots here.
right.
So Darby comes out with his music after nobody else in Team AEW got music, which I thought was funny. And then one of the Jacksons, I think it was Matt, said, stop the music, play our new music." And then Danielson gets mad about this and tells them to play Final Countdown.
Right.
And then all hell breaks loose and they start fighting fucking everywhere.
Right. And they're playing the whole time. The final countdown by Europe is playing.
Right. And then at one point, Matt Jackson grabs the mic again and makes a very good point.
Yeah.
Actually, he's like, "This is costing me $200,000 a minute. Please stop."
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Music rights are outrageous.
Please stop. This is costing me a lot of money. To which I said, good point.
Right. Exactly.
That's fair. I get it.
But then they had every gimmick you could think of. I mean, they already had
Okay.
the tables and chairs.
So amidst all this, Jack and Darby fight into the back. Jack gets waterboarded. No, I'm not kidding. By
Right.
Darby Allin.
Hmm.
And then Jack throws Darby into a pile of trash. They don't show him for a few minutes. And then Darby gets hit by a goddamn bus again.
Right. He referenced his accident from a few weeks ago. That was crazy. And then they show Jack Perry kind of like
Jack looks
passed,
dead in the front of
slumped
the
over
bus.
in the cab of the truck or the bus.
Dude, I don't think they were kidding on commentary when I think he might have actually hit his head on the steering wheel because
Oh
you heard
yeah.
a sound from inside
Mhm.
the bus when he hit there. And I'm like, did he actually like knock himself out?
Yeah.
Then a few minutes later, uh, Darby comes hobbling out. Darby is not done being tortured yet. There's more to come. He ends up doing a jump off like the roof of a stairwell almost onto the. Anyway, they're fighting in the crowd. Um,
At one point, we had a quote, an exploding chair.
that was later. I'll get there. Trust me.
Okay,
Then
I'm coming.
after a while, Darby gets dropped down the elevator, right? That the
Right,
Bucks came up on, and because the Bucks came out on like the Cody Vader type thing, and they sent Darby back down it. And Jack's coming back after presumably being treated for a concussion, for smacking his head on the damn steering wheel. But the
right.
airbags didn't go off in that bus. I don't know if they took the
No,
airbags out. I don't think that bus is road legal. Anyway,
didn't look like it.
uh, Jack grabs Tony Khan and like very slowly, because it took him like 5 minutes, drags him out into the
Right.
entry ramp. And it is at this point when I said, "Oh no, what are they gonna do now?" The second Tony gets involved, and then already beaten, battered, bruised, and mangled and murdered, Darby Allin comes out with a fucking flamethrower. The
Yeah.
the fucking flamethrower that he had
Right.
Wednesday.
And he lights Jack Perry on fire. His pants were lit on fire.
The baby face.
Right.
The baby
The
face.
baby faced little human being on fire.
Attempted murder.
Yeah. And and the Bucks just happen to have fire extinguishers right at the ready. Just think you got their hands on them immediately. They just happen to be sitting right there. How
Well,
convenient.
there is building code for like fire extinguishers and stuff like that, so it's
I
very
know.
possible.
I mean, but it only took them like 2 seconds. It's almost like they were expecting it.
Thank God it only took him 2 seconds. Jesus
I
Christ, I
know.
thought Jack was dead.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't get burnt worse than he did. I remember the last time they screwed around with fire. I remember Cody Rhodes got burned up pretty bad a couple years ago.
Anyway, so Jack gets lit on fire. The Bucks use those fire extinguishers to like knock Darby Allin out, because I don't know if you know this about fire extinguishers. Those fumes are pretty nauseous.
Oh yeah, they
Noxious.
are.
Those are not good fumes. So they drag Darby back to the ring. The Elite just get all sorts of heat all over the place. Just so much heat. Just beating everybody up. Tony Khan has run away.
Mhm.
Perhaps wisely, because also we still don't know what happened to that flamethrower. I hope somebody like
Oh yeah.
broke that thing, got rid of it, took the gas out of it, whatever.
Yep.
Um,
I think most of them run on diesel fuel.
and then they drag Darby to the ring, and after everybody gets cleaned out, they tie him by the legs to a hook that gets brought down from the roof.
Right. Where they got
Wow.
the I thought they were going to bring the cage down again.
That
When
would have made sense.
they started pointing out, instead they just brought that hook down.
Bringing the cage down again, that would have made sense to me. I don't
Hmm.
know, but like if the Bucks were like, bring the cage down, because then you have Darby isolated.
Right.
And if they locked the cage, you can win the match, which they end
But
up doing anyway.
but it took them a while to get him hung up there, but they finally did. In the meantime, FTR keeps coming up to the side to try to get him, continually getting knocked down. I don't know. Somebody in this company is just obsessed with making FTR look weak.
I want to know who FTR hurt in this company, because they get
Yeah, they get
ramshackled.
the shit end of everything.
Um, at one point towards the end here, as Darby is strung up by his legs. By the way, this is human torture, like
Right,
full stop. No, 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 like maybe. No, this is human torture.
right,
This is illegal.
right. This is shit you go to prison for.
This is the type of shit you get 10 years for, at least federally.
Sure.
Like, fuck.
I mean, really. I mean, go
And
light your neighbor on fire and see what happens.
it, dude, that's 20 years in prison for attempted murder.
Mhm.
Anyway, so Darby's strung up by his legs. Okada goes under the ring and gets like these Young Bucks edition shoes that I guess Reebok is doing that they were plugging all night
The
that
pump up
have thumbtack
Reeboks, yeah,
that have thumbtacks stuck in them.
on the bottom.
And
Yep.
and the Bucks put these things on and they proceed to kick Darby Allin in the face with the thumbtacks, nothing protecting his face,
Yeah.
with thumbtacks on their feet.
Uh-huh.
Darby covers his and all you see is just blood
Yeah.
everywhere. There's blood in Darby. By the way, Darby was bleeding already, but he was not bleeding that much, not even close.
Yeah, there was a lot of blood.
He is bleeding profusely, dripping blood. Danielson gets in there and finally says, I've seen enough of this shit, and says, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
Right.
Gets his comeback on and then gets cut off. And eventually the Bucks end up beating him to the point where Jack Perry is able to hit a running knee of his own and win the match.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want the team AEW to win, but you knew damn well they were, or I mean, the elite didn't want the elite to win, but you knew damn well that's the way they were going to do it. They always got to put the stinking rotten Bucks on top, you know. So where do they go from here with this
And and
elite
then
business?
and then and this is what really pissed me off. The Bucks had the nerve to look into the camera and say, "Great show, great show, great show."
No, it
And
was,
I thought, oh, the show was 4.5 hours.
yeah,
4.5.
way too damn long, way too damn long.
This show went on and on, and especially that main event went on and on and it didn't
Yeah.
stop.
How many times in that last match I kept saying, I said, come on, pin somebody and get this shit over with. Come on,
By the
somebody
way,
get pinned.
you didn't. They said it on commentary, but you wouldn't have known this if you weren't paying attention to it. This was a false count anywhere match.
Okay, yeah, I don't
They
remember
could
them
have.
saying that.
They could
Could
have
have pinned them
pinned.
at any time.
They could have pinned Danielson after they pile drove him on the poker chip.
Yeah,
They could have pinned Jack Perry after setting him on fire.
sure.
I don't think he was kicking out of that.
It just goes to show you how these guys don't know how to put together an intelligent match. It was nothing about the way they did this made any sense at all. It was, and even when the announcer said, "Welcome to the shit show," he wasn't kidding.
Justin Roberts is so good. And I don't know why WWE let him go.
Yeah,
Now, is he better than Samantha Irvin? No.
no,
Is he better than Alicia Taylor? Probably not. But
he's good
he
though.
is he's very good. But this poor bloke.
What's that?
This poor bloke
Oh, I know.
has to use his best work and his best lines on this fucking show.
Oh, I know.
By the way, I want to point something out. And I know it's like midnight or whatever time in the world it is right now. It's 12:30,
It's all right.
and I'm sure we all want to go home. Um, one moment. Allow me to find it because there's an interesting tidbit here. There were, and I don't know what the final attendance number was. There were only 7,500 tickets distributed for this show
Really?
at 15 minutes.
7,500? That doesn't sound
At
like very
15,
many.
7,500. Last year, I believe they did 16,000. They did 7,500 for this show
That's a pretty small crowd.
in the same building.
Yeah, the same building. They obviously weren't sold out then. That's not a good sign.
That's not good, folks. Anyway, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, that was at 7:15 that there were 7,500 tickets distributed. I don't know what the final number was. And I'm sure Tony will say it tonight,
Yeah, probably will.
but
Are they doing a press conference? Probably.
the right now they are, yeah.
They got to do that afterward because, it hasn't gone late enough yet. So,
I'm not watching it this time. I
nah.
normally watch it after we wrap up, but I'm not this time. I just don't care. I
Yeah, can't blame me there.
I am defeated. Tonight I am defeated. I have been defeated by All Elite Wrestling tonight. I give up.
Well, I'll tell you what, we got Monday Night Raw tomorrow night, and I'll bet you it'll be a better show than this AEW pay-per-view was tonight.
It'll be shorter.
Oh, definitely. It'll be shorter by an hour and a half, and it's still three
Too damn
hours
long.
or is too damn long. Yeah, this could have been they could have eliminated some of these matches and it wouldn't have hurt anything. We could have done without Trent Beretta versus Orange Cassidy. They could have scratched that one.
Russ, I hesitate to ask you this because I know your answer. What was the better show this Memorial Day weekend?
King and Queen of the Ring was the better show
By
overall.
the way, I didn't think King and Queen of the Ring was anything like special. I didn't think it was a great show. I thought it was a very good show.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
I thought Backlash was better,
Oh, I would agree. I thought Backlash was better.
but I thought it was a good show. I thought Double or Nothing was great for 35 minutes between the opening match, the Cole thing, and then the MJF thing. All
Right.
brilliant. I want to know why that started the show, though, because,
Yeah, after that it just started to drag.
and that's not saying there weren't
And
good
and the
matches.
two women's matches after that first match and MGF's return, I think the highlights of the show were probably the two women's matches.
And Swerve and Christian
Yeah.
and Gangrel. Like, that's it.
Oh, it was good to see Gangrel, even though yeah, it was a barbed wire steel cage match with very, very little barbed wire.
A lot towards the end, though.
Hmm.
Anyway, that's it.
Yes.
I agree. King and Queen of the Ring was a better show, but I didn't think King and Queen of the Ring was anything remarkable either. Now, in comparison to
I
Double
think
or
I liked
Nothing,
it a little bit better than you did,
I
but it
think
wasn't perfect.
could have been a better show. But long story short, I didn't think either show was particularly bad.
Yeah.
Like Double or Nothing was not a bad show.
Right.
Don't get this twist. It was not a bad show. It was too long
Way
and
too
had a
long.
main event that it shouldn't have had.
Yeah.
But like
That's just I don't know, but that's my bias. If I never saw the Young Bucks wrestle again ever for the rest of my life, I would not miss them.
Nor would I.
Well, we agree on that.
And if I never saw Anarchy in the Arena again, I'd be all right.
Yeah,
All right, Russ. I think it's time we go home, huh?
I'll go home. Yeah, I think I'll
Yeah.
go home and have a Coors and go to bed.
A Coors?
A Coors banquet beer,
What the fuck? Your taste in beer is
excellent.
not the word I would have chosen.
No,
Anyway,
I don't have any Negro Modelo. That's the best beer in the world.
Modelo? What is your taste in beer?
Negro Modelo, the dark ale.
Oh,
Yeah, the dark stuff.
well, at any rate, Russ's poor taste in beer aside.
Hey, I could be worse. I could be drinking PBR.
Hey, I liked PBR
Yeah, me
for
too.
the times that I had. By the way, slight tangent. The only time I've ever drank PBR is when I was extremely drunk.
Oh yeah, they'll get you
That's the
there
best time.
fast. It goes down fast and gets you fucked up fast. That's for sure.
Or it keeps you fucked up if you're already fucked up.
Yeah,
At any rate, folks, we're gonna go home now. It's 1 o'clock in the morning almost.
just about.
God damn it, AEW. Get your
Yeah,
shit together.
yep. I tell you, they thought this was like our WrestleMania. Maybe next year they'll have double or death. It'll be 2 nights.
That'd be better than this, wouldn't it?
Well, it depends on who's on it and what they're doing.
Better than a 4.5 hour fuckfest on a Sunday night.
I hear you.
But folks, have a great rest of your Memorial Day weekend.
Peace.
Have a great Monday. Have a great rest of your week. We will see you next week.
You bet.
Keep watching wrestling. Keep having fun with it. I haven't given up on AEW yet,
Right. Oh, I'm not gonna.
but tonight hurt a lot. That's it. Damon, play our fucking music, and I